nimekam nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza. Niaje aje wase, niaje aje wase, niaje aje wase. Ngoma iko upande gani? Nimekam nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekam nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekam nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekam nakacheza. Napenda nyama chom chom, chom chom, kachumbari iwe hot hot, hot hot, ka ugali kawe soft soft, soft soft, makali bila chaser is a no no, buda kunywa kiasi. Don't forget we ni mzazi, don't forget kuna watoto, na tudai kuchoma photo, no, zikishika buda maintain. Kuna couch ya kumeditate, msupa vipi una hesitate, kweni huchi kuself medicate. Tunazitoka tuna vibrate, on top of that tuna celebrate. Didate tena nimelipa rent, kama kawa mikuwaga late. Nimekam nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekam nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekam nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekam nakacheza. Hey, kamkalesa msupa, neza nusa umeka bila kusukwa, neza nusa umeka bila kuguswa. Usiogope kuomba naweza kupa, maybe ni vile ngoma inachuna, ama ni zile vitu tunakunywa, ama ni zile vitu tunavuta. Tatuonesha leo katanuka, maybe chocha mingi spendi, happy wewe neza manga day wewe, maybe chocha mingi spendi, happy oya ongeza. Nimekam nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekam nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekam nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekuja nakacheza, nimekam nakacheza. Niaje aje wase, niaje aje wase, niaje aje wase. Ngoma iko upande gani? Nimekam nakacheza.
It's that time of the week where the hottest Kenyan millennials jazz up your afternoon with their refreshing live talk show. You are now tuned in to the 254 Millennial Talk.
It's not even my birthday.
Okay. It's Bloody Actor here, guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of the 254 Millennial Talk. Hopefully you've had a lovely week. Yeah, man. Yes. Remember, this show goes live every Saturday. Not every Saturday, but mostly on Saturdays. 5 to 6 p.m. East African time. So this is Nairobi time. That's when the show goes live. And yeah, be sure to tune in also on YouTube. On Twitch as well. I can see Hassan was there. Sorry, I would not yet set up. It was the plugin. The plugin was set to start automatically when I hit the live button. I mean, when I hit the start streaming button, which is annoying. But yes, that should be sorted now. Shouldn't just start. It should start when I tell it to start. But as you can see, I'm my usual co-host, Mr. Slabman. Mr. Slabman.
Hello.
So Slapman looks bored today. I think he found out his wife is cheating. So
I found out my wife is cheating.
it's new.
Do I look like someone who can get cheated on?
Hi, guy. Oh, have you ever looked yourself in the mirror? And did you ever look yourself in the mirror and thought that you're someone who cannot be cheated on?
I don't have mirrors, by the way.
You're clearly someone who can be cheated on. Look at you. Look at you. Just if there's everything wrong with a person is in your face. Is inscribed in your face.
Everything wrong with that person.
It's inscribed in your face. A face of.
Okay.
You see, he's not even joking now today. It's that serious. He's not even smiling. But anyways, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is clearly the bad guy. NVIDIA is clearly the bad guy. What do you have to tell us, Mr. Slatman, about NVIDIA?
They are.
I
Go to the
mean,
4090.
that's why you're here to tell us. What do you think about these guys? Are they the bad guys? Are they clearly the bad guys?
Are they clearly the bad guys?
Hmm.
Is NVIDIA the bad guy?
Yes.
Are they?
Yes. Now, right now, seems they've enjoyed money so much. They are. I would say these RTX 4000 series cards should be cheaper. But of course, it's their mess that they're trying to clean up because, of course, they oversupplied miners with graphics cards and they reaped extremely insane profits. But now, because Ethereum merged, and I hope this is setting a trend for other cryptocurrencies to stop using mining and to find other ways of existing. Yes, so the graphics cards ended up being dumped. Or there's a huge, apparently, people keep saying there's a huge influx, but I've not seen them. Maybe it's because I've not checked on eBay a lot. But there's supposed to be a huge influx of mining cards. Not mining cards, but X-mining cards. So this is the 30 series. As you know, because of the shortage and miners scalping everything, the pricing for GPUs was out of this world. Like, it was almost triple the price of a GPU at MSRP. So right now, the GPUs are kind of back to normal. It's still kind of high compared to the MSRP, but it's more reasonable than it was last year or at the beginning of the year. So the main question is NVIDIA the bad guy?
Are they?
It's just
No, I don't think
self-explained.
they are.
Why don't you
They
think they are?
They're just doing business.
Mm-hmm.
Think they're just doing business. In terms of being bad or good, as far as the companies go, they are very good. They are the good guy because they are making so much money. Don't you think so?
For shareholders, probably. But are they good in terms of consumers when we look at the consumer side of things?
Because their GPUs are insanely priced, hence they are not good. Yeah, but yes, everyone is still going to buy NVIDIA cards.
They are good, but does it justify the prices they are selling them at?
I think I can. The market demands it.
No, but are you sure that this market does not? Dude, there was like a leaked audio of Jensen saying how they will. It was by Jay's 2 cents of Jensen saying that, of course, their period in running the high is now over. Now they have to do something about it. He basically was just talking about the way they profited so much from mining. So that period is now coming to an end. And
I suppose things have changed. That is true.
Yeah, so it doesn't justify, I'm sure. In fact, the theory is, and I'm pretty sure it's not even a theory, but NVIDIA are making this one so high so that people can finish up the 30 series cards from the market. because apparently they have such a huge inventory of those cards, or like maybe orders.
Mm-hmm.
So ndio sasa. So they released these new cards with a very high mock-up so that people can gouge up the previous generation cards.
That might be true.
Might be true.
That is
I
true.
I have a feeling it is like
Mm-hmm.
that is. I mean, this is NVIDIA. I mean, this is a corporation, like you said. We don't expect them to be playing nice once they start tasting money. You know, inherently, I think this is a problem with most publicly listed companies.
Uh-huh.
So, like where they have to please their shareholders.
Yes.
So yes,
That is correct. I think it's a very tricky situation. In terms of how gamers think of NVIDIA, if we are really objective about this, I think gamers really love NVIDIA. Because despite the high prices, what did the gamers do? Buy NVIDIA cards. They were in the scalp.
I mean they're good.
NVIDIA cards.
Okay, would you really say we love NVIDIA? It's just that
We
they're
love
offering
NVIDIA, man.
they're offering the best. They're offering the best. If it was AMD AMD is now offering the best CPUs. So people will. It's natural for people to buy AMD cards. So is it like a love, or is it more like we are choosing this because it's the most reliable? So is that love really, or is that a
has
case
to be
of?
love.
It's not
that
love.
has to be love.
I think love is
Is
like a
it?
fanboy thing.
I think love is less rational than anything.
But that's but this is rationality.
Like
We are using
you
rationality.
can love a dog that shits on your bed every time.
Yes.
It's irrational.
Yes, but now people don't
Since-
love NVIDIA because they are not offering something. If NVIDIA never offered something, people will not be buying their cards.
But
I mean, isn't
you are
that the
right.
problem
You are
Intel
right.
has right now? Like, yes,
Yeah.
they've come out with the GPUs, but the problem is the GPUs have driver issues and stuff and all these other things that are plaguing those GPUs. So, I mean, so it's not love, right? Like when you say love, I think it's more like a fandom, fanboys. Like, oh, you see, like the way people love iPhones. Some people are like Apple sheep. They're called iSheep. The iSheep. So that's
They're
like
called
love.
iSheep.
Yeah.
Apple sheep. I like that name.
So
I like that name.
iSheep. It's what they are referred to as those Apple fanboys.
I never heard of it until today.
iSheep.
Fucking glorious name right there.
Yes, so that's what we will say is love. But for NVIDIA, me, to be honest, I just buy their cards because it checks the boxes for what I use the card for. If it did not, I don't have a reason to stick around using it. Yeah.
You wouldn't buy it.
Yes, like I don't know. Unless maybe there's some people who love NVIDIA. Maybe there's some people who are fanboys for Team Green all the way. You know, like they even have the green painted everywhere in their homes and stuff. So
Yes.
yeah, maybe that way. But I wouldn't necessarily say people are loving NVIDIA. Otherwise, otherwise there's a lot of backlash from creators right now where, Kina Liners are saying, just Intel, please, just continue making GPUs because, like, people are crying out loud that we need a third competitor in the space because, I can see Zach Rabin has joined. Because we need NVIDIA has gotten to a point where they're enjoying a lot of monopoly and they're pricing these GPUs the way they want. And it's not really affordable. Dude, like, how much is the 4090? I don't know, 1600. That's like a whole new system.
Did you see the power? That's like.
That's a new computer,
I can't believe someone
man.
actually gets away with asking an amount like that for a fucking GPU.
That's a whole computer, I'm saying. You can buy,
That is
you can build
ridiculous.
you can build like a whole Ryzen system and then add an RTX 3070 or 38.
I agree. That is.
Zakrabi
That
and
is some ridiculous money to ask for.
Hey guys.
Hello.
what's up, man? So I don't know. So you see, that's what I'm saying. That's why you can see Akina
That
Linus saying like, please just buy the Intel cards, because we want Intel to also compete, because
Yeah, that's true.
we've
If there are
clearly
3
seen.
in the space, I think I can get. I get behind that. I dig that. I fuck with that.
Yeah. Even though the Intel cards have issues, man. Me, if I had the money to splurge, I would buy one card and just,
You
just
would
for
buy
this-
an Intel card?
Yes, if I had the money to splurge, I would buy
Oh my god.
just to support the cause. Just to
to
support
the
yes,
fucking cause.
Yeah, you support the cause, and I say, hey, I bought an Intel card. Fuck
Just to
NVIDIA.
support the fucking cause, you would buy an Intel GPU.
Yes, and maybe even help in development of the card, and maybe suggesting what can be, I don't know, giving suggestions like, hey, maybe I stream a lot, I do this a lot. Could you optimize the future cards for this? I feel like Intel needs that support right now, because AMD, I don't know if can AMD come up with something to really challenge NVIDIA up.
I never really understood what AMD does.
I feel like for AMD, maybe they were trying to fix up the CPU division kwanza, and now I think that they are on top. They are like, okay, now we start working on the GPUs. How do you think, Zach? What does that?
Yeah. So, well, I want to say that AMD has been, like, the 6000 series really tried compared to previous generations. And I want to believe the 7000 series will be... Okay, I want them to compete. Well, they wouldn't really compete as much, but if the cost to performance is good, they might edge out NVIDIA for the first time. Even though NVIDIA hung up on DLSS 3.0, which is now something that's going to be proprietary for the 4000 series only, which sucks. Like, to share, we are being told that we can't use DLSS 3 if we don't have the 4000 series cards, and the cards that we have at the moment, they really don't make any sense. It doesn't bring any value to any game.
And I mean, to back up your point, the 67, which card were you saying, Slutty? It's the 60 what XT, the one that is trading blows with a 3080 or a 3090.
6800 XT.
Yeah, that's a good example of a card that I feel like maybe AMD they're kind of catching close. Under 6800 XT is right now, if I was to transition to, let's go to my desktop scene and look at Amazon. As you can see, a 6800 XT right now is $619. This
Holy
is, and
shit,
it's
that is cheap. Wait, which version is that?
XFX Speedmaster.
Is it the Mark?
The what?
The Quick? Is it the Quick?
Yeah, the Mark 319. No, this one is
Oh, the
written
Mark. Oh, the Mark is actually the fat boy. That's a good GPU. Oh my god. Shared money.
Yeah, as you can see now, they're really going for good prices. Yeah, you can find really nice ones, and But I don't know, man. Maybe, like you said, Zach, maybe in the next generation they will, they will have
Like,
an
NVIDIA has
edge.
given them that platform to actually come and bring something competitive to the market. Because as far as I'm concerned, NVIDIA has botched the 4000 series as far as everything is right now. Because if you look at like the 480, is it the 12 gig?
Yeah, the one that was supposed to be as 4070.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But if you look at the specs even further and going back previous generations, like that card would have been a 60 series card because of I can't remember the exact spec. But there's a spec that is 3060 level spec.
Oh, I mean, in terms of like the
Yeah.
ratio of transistors in these cards scaling down, like from the from the 80 to the 70, it decreases by this amount. From the 70 to the 60, it decreases by this amount. Is it?
Yeah. I'll have to look for it, but I'm pretty sure. Like there's one spec that it was always used on 60 series level. Like 70 series had more. Let me just look for it and then I'll look up.
12 gigs though. Oh my god, NVIDIA really. Wow, these guys really need a competitor. 12 gigs is so low, man. Hey, dude, see. This one for Nini, the 6800 XT is going for like $619 and it's 16 gigabytes. Say, are you kidding me? And then you buy, dude. If it were not for productivity and how good NVIDIA has integrated their GPUs into the productivity workflow, I don't even know why I will be buying an NVIDIA card. Like 12 GB, man. It's like 12 GB.
Not
And then
about
the,
12 GB.
see
lot.
the. It's not a lot. It's
actually
not.
a
I mean,
lot. It's actually a lot.
comparing with the competition.
Yeah, it's actually a lot.
Nah, man. I feel like they should justify even that price. Wait, they said the what? They said the RTX 40 or the 4080 at how much is it retailing for? Let me check.
A lot of money.
RTX
I think it was
48
1200.
12. Oh my god, that's a lot of money. Jesus. That's like 200.
They're smoking. They're smoking something over there at NVIDIA.
My god. They must be.
There must be. That's a lot of money. Do you see the size of the bus? The bus width? It's 128.
Yes, that's what I was referring to.
Oh my god, it's like, oh, screw you. Take this. Obviously that was supposed to be 3070. And at this point, they wouldn't be I wouldn't put it past them to release like the same card in their next generation with a slightly bigger bus speed.
Yeah.
Wait,
so what? So
Ridiculous.
from what I'm seeing on the
for the
website,
performance that
wait, so they're releasing two 4080s, one at 12 gig and the other one at 16 gig. So what's the 12 gig then should have been a 4070. My god.
well, they're looking. I don't know if you've seen like there have been some rumors like the performance of the 4090 and the 4080, and there's such a huge gap that you're guaranteed to have a 40 Ti or a 4080 Super being introduced.
Oh my god.
What is
NVIDIA,
that?
you naughty dog, you.
What do they have squished in that? But that card is big. I can only assume it is pushing out frames.
Well, given that it's almost the size of a PS5.
Good, by the way. Wow, someone actually needs to be fired for that shit. It's getting out of hand right now.
Yeah, they're so
We now
big,
need-
man.
we need- Now the problem with the 40 series cards for me, what I think is, one, you have to invest in another case. You have to invest in another power
What
supply.
case? I've not seen a case which fits one.
Yeah,
Is there?
I think mine can
There
fit.
should,
Mine
there
is a
should
bigger
be.
one.
Like a 5000X.
Oh my god.
7000X. And
Oh my
the Corsair
god. That's like a
7000.
house, bro. I know what you're talking about. That's a fucking house. What would you put in there? I mean, big cases in the first place, I don't think they are fairly practical on account of how everything is getting smaller. I mean, nowadays we have very tiny, teeny, tiny SSDs for storage,
Yes.
NVMEs. CPUs
Yes.
are, well, let's not get into CPUs. They are also getting a bit power hungry. At this point, it's quite ridiculous. You know what the future is promising is consuming more power. So, but that GPU, bro, I saw the size of the ASUS one. I couldn't believe it. Dude, I shit you not. The first time I saw pictures, actually thought it was photoshopped. You know, like someone holding it, it's straight up in their face, and then you can see the sheer size of the thing.
Yeah.
And then you buy that with the pretext of saying you're going to play video games. Oh my god.
Wow.
No, I think you're just playing yourself at that point.
Because
Things-
like how I'm looking at it at the moment is
Mhm.
get the cheapest 40 series card that would perform like a 3090.
Get the cheap. Say that again.
Like
Get the
get the
cheap. Oh,
cheapest 40 series card that performs like a
which?
3090.
I think I get your vibe. Which card do you think that will be? Will it be the 4060, the 4070? Because
Well,
Nvidia
the
really.
way it
And
looks like,
uh
if the rumors are anything to pass by, but we'll know by next week. By end of next week, we'll be knowing this. But if the performance gains are as much as they say, this can be a 3060 or a 3060 Ti, 4060 Ti. Sorry.
it can be a 4060 Ti will perform the same as a 3090.
Yes, given the rumors that we're having right now.
Holy shit! Then we should all just wait and buy the fucking 4060. That will be sometime next year, February.
Me, I will
No, of
buy.
course. Now, as you're saying it, I see where you are coming from. But don't you think Nvidia is also thinking about that? So that means they might extend the date to which we actually get that 4060.
Yeah. I think Bloody said this earlier. Like the reason why the prices are so high right now, it's mainly to clear the stock of the
Oh
30 series
yeah,
that already exist.
oh yeah, that's legit.
And
That's
we
legit.
had an ad telling us like GeForce restocked earlier this year. Like they're trying to sell these cards at MSRP right now,
Uh-huh.
and they've they've made productions for them. So like there's a lot of cards in the market at the moment. If you look at the crash of the Ethereum, mining is not profitable anymore. So there are also used cards that are flooded in the market. They need to get rid of these cards before someone thinks about buying a 40 series. The only people who are buying 40 series is someone who believed that the 3090 Ti, if I can get double the performance right now, I'd rather buy that 1500, that $1,600 card. But it's not for a game.
Yeah, most
Like
definitely not for a gamer. Probably someone who's
I
doing production or something. Because that Mimi, if I was to buy a 40 series card, I will only buy it for the sole purpose of getting the AV1 encoding engine. Because those new
yeah,
cards have it.
yeah. So it's more catered to the professionals, for people who know why they're buying that card and not only for gaming. So for them, like, I'd not waste any time. If it's going to make me a certain amount of money in a period of time.
I don't know, but still I would recommend people not to buy them. I think NVIDIA needs to learn a lesson, Kwanzaa, man. Hey, these guys are... Hey, these guys are something else,
Um,
bruh.
I truly agree. And I believe that most of the market, like, given the crash, now the market is just heavily based on gamers. And gamers don't have the latest tech, at least on the market. If you look at like the Steam surveys, of which cards are in use most of the time, you'll find you're looking at a 3060. I believe the 2060 is still superior. Like everyone has, like a lot of people, the average person has a mid-tier card that can push a good 1080 60 FPS.
Okay.
Not everyone is into high refresh and 1440p and above. So
And
like
most
how
people are still
Intel is
stuck with
approaching,
you on 1080p. Like it's very hard to convince someone who's not on a 4K monitor to like
yeah,
switch.
yeah, and Intel, the way they've attacked the market, um, I'm hoping it will work out for them. The only problem is like it's not backwards compatible. There are DirectX. It's only the cards are performing on DX12 games better
Oh
than
yeah,
any. Yeah,
I
like
get what
if
you
you
mean.
look
So
at DX11, DX10, like the performance is horrible. You can't compare.
yeah, understand.
So
I mean, it
if
was
they
to
are
be expected, though. I mean, if they are a new player in this space, but I mean, to be a new player and of course they have driver issues and stuff, but to be a new player and actually come out with something that is capable, I mean, Intel, it shows maybe they're kind of stepping onto the right. Maybe they have like a genuinely they genuinely have a chance.
well, it was the 700 series, I think they're called. Like these cards were better compared to the ones before. The other tier was pretty horrible.
Oh yeah,
And
that's where like I feel you. I get what you mean.
yeah,
Like the generational leap was incredible.
yeah. So if I don't know if they still have another tier that they want to introduce, but if they can, I don't know if it's the A900 series, I don't know. But if they have those and they perform like well in 1440p and 1080p, and they sell them for a competitive price, I think people will start shifting towards that and AMD as Intel thinks about, as NVIDIA thinks about how it's going to make people buy those expensive cards that they have in the market right now.
Lance is asking, where is the flood of cheap NVIDIA GPUs on the second-hand market? We expected
It's
after the
coming.
merge.
Get your fucking umbrella. Coming.
I don't know. I'm also waiting, man. I'm waiting for them to rain. But to be honest, I think for GPUs, for me, I'll wait and buy. I'll wait for the 40 series. Hey, as I have seen the capability of that AV1 video, I'm like, damn, this is absurd. This is bonkers. How good the quality is at half the bitrate that I'm streaming at right now. Like 720p, you can stream with AV1 720p. You can stream just at 1200 kilobits, and it's going to look as good as someone streaming at 4000. So probably that's what I was saying. Maybe going back to what you were saying earlier, probably the people who are going to buy the 40 series cards are those kinds of people where they're like, I need this thing. This thing. So yeah, but let me look at eBay.
Yeah, I feel like the market, there's a gross misrepresentation of like how people are buying cards. We don't have a lot of 3090s and above. Like just people who are casually gaming. It's really hard to find that.
I mean, when it gets to a
And
point where you're
aside-
buying sorry, just finish.
I've lost my train of thought when you.
Sorry. I mean, when it gets to a point you're buying a 3090, I feel like you must be a content creator, because most people I've seen with 3090s are just like people who are streaming, where they know that they can stream the game and they can play the game without any hitches. So I think a card like a 3090 can provide that.
Yes, and like that's where I think I want to be at, where I can just play at 4K without worrying about anything.
You want it to be as good as it is on 1080p.
Yes.
Holy shit, by the way, you are right. Right now, gaming at 1080p, you'd be spoiled for choice.
Yeah.
You can go maxed out graphics to the wall and see everything, and you still like, wait, there's 66600 XT. How do you say that?
6600 XT.
Yeah, is a 1080p monster, right?
Yeah.
I think so,
Oh
yeah.
my god. And right now it's retailing at, must be 216.
Yeah,
Quite
it's
cheap.
actually rather cheap.
Yeah.
But
How
the
I
same-
wish I stayed at 1080p gaming.
Oh, dude. eBay.
How I wish. Holy shit. I mean, if you look at this, you wouldn't even have to spend an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
You can game at 14. You can game at 144 FPS with your high refresh monitor. You don't even have to look at the graphic settings.
Yes.
Oh my
And I
god!
mean-
For 319, there's actually a 249 one.
What, the 6600 XT?
The 6600 XT Core XFX Speedster Swift 210.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! It's
mean,
actually very good to be a 1080p gamer.
But
But
the barrier
see,
to
it's-
entry, if you want 1080p, I think you can build a pretty good budget PC. I mean, this is something, I think I talked with Andy. I told him that there's a couple of people who've been requesting that they need like a build for a budget PC. It seems, I think with those cards that you're saying, I feel like, people can really, build a good system. That is, so long as you stick to 1080p, don't think of going up at the time being. And I mean, to deviate off the point, you do know that YouTube is planning to add a paywall for you to watch 4K video.
they were testing it.
Yes,
testing it.
I'm sure they're going to roll it out. That's something I can see them rolling out.
To watch 4K videos.
And then you're paying for 4K, and then you have to also pay for ad-free YouTube.
Oh
See,
my
it's
god!
Nene.
I'm sure you.
It's going
I'm
to
sure
be,
the
I think,
people
under
over
premium,
there.
all of it. Like
But premium is not accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
The moment they figure that out, I think YouTube can be a pleasant experience. Because currently, like switching from my computer where I have hard block to my mobile device where I don't, dude, the YouTube experience is terrible. You don't even remember the message of the actual video. All I remember is the KCB ad, M-Pesa ad, and whatnot. It's so
Juicy fruit.
commercial. Yeah, it's so commercial. It feels like. Have you ever been to a banking hall and then they have big screens playing adverts, their own adverts? Like you've already bought in, you're already a member of the bank, but they're still showing you adverts. Like those guys can't let you fucking breathe. And you go to somewhere where you at least expect not to see them, and then boom, maybe you're trying to watch a video on how to save grandma from choking on a bone on a bone of fish, but you are struck with the ad. So grandma has to die before the ad can reach the skip button. It's ridiculous where we are right now at ads. It feels like YouTube is a platform for ads, but in between the ads there are videos, not the other way around.
they need to find a balance between.
Service.
Come
I
again.
think, I think they need to
Oh,
find
I
a
was
balance
saying it's
between
an ad.
ads and
Ad streaming
videos.
Yeah, you said it, man. YouTube is a fucking ad streaming service.
That's how they make money. I think they need to figure out how to make money. That's why I would see them adding a paywall for you to watch 4K.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But I mean, I
don't
think
understand.
about it. They won't be at the mercy of advertisers, so they can be.
Yeah.
As in, from a creator
But-
standpoint, we can have at least more leniency because I mean, it's your viewers who are paying for you, so YouTube can be like, yeah, I mean, is he making money?
But isn't I feel like the whole thing with ads and YouTube has to do with the fact that Google owns YouTube. The amount of technology, effort, manpower, and automation Google has put into tracking you and I so that we can be sold ads is such a big enterprise. And I think immediately on Google, whenever you come up with an idea, it has to be an idea in how you can utilize tracking and selling of ads in that fucking idea. And I believe that is why Stadia failed.
Yeah.
So maybe
Stadia.
Stadia didn't have enough way for them to include ads. So maybe they canned it because
See,
of
the
that.
shareholders are like, where are the ads running when we are selling this? Huh?
I think Google has this problem whereby they are so huge, they imagine everything they should do should immediately pick up on account of them being Google. So they probably didn't give Stadia, they didn't give it a fighting chance, enough time to mature, enough time for devs even to hop on. So eventually what this means is that when other devs see streaming services come up, they are banned from Stadia. Then they'll be like, nah, I ain't buying this shit. You remember what Stadia did? So that like Google is a sort of kid who you tell them you're not going to give them candy, and then they spill all the fucking candy, so no one can have candy. So
Google,
it
Google
doesn't
has
make sense
a
why they. Mm,
Google has a Microsoft problem. They have too much money.
they have too much money.
Yes, I mean Microsoft also does the same thing. They come up with new things that don't even
Oh,
work,
man.
and then they kill them. So
It's amazing that Microsoft still has issues with making UIs on account of how much they've made the world's fucking biggest UI in form of Windows. They still do a lot of hits and misses. You remember Windows 8?
yep,
I know. Let me refresh that. Do you remember Windows 8 on desktop?
yes.
Like the whole experience was so. I don't understand.
I think
It doesn't make sense. Like some things they do, you can't imagine the people who are behind giving that idea the okay. And it actually gets worse when you think about decision making in corporates. A bunch of people had to agree to do that stupid thing. Can you imagine,
like
like
the
coming to consensus on that?
like the new Autodesk logos. Oh my god, they changed the software used called Maya. They changed the logo man to something ugly. It's like M and then below Aya. So I'm like, what?
Let's see.
Who in their right mind like chose this? Right? It's so ugly. I prefer the older one.
Let me see it. Oh, I see it. It looks
Yeah.
like May. It looks
Yeah.
like Malaysia Aya. I don't know. It's confusing. The previous one was okay. I get what you're on. I get what you're on about. Have you guys? You should Google it. Look kind of weird. Looks kind of weird. I see what you mean. What you mean.
Yeah, so I you know what you're saying. Like you wonder, did a whole board of directors go through this and said yes, this is what we like. This looks nice. So, wait, have NVIDIA have a streaming service, right?
GeForce Now.
GeForce Now. Is it that good? I
Is
don't.
GeForce Now that good?
Other than like the AI and GPUs, does NVIDIA make anything else that is successful like those two?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, other than AI and GPUs.
Yeah.
NVIDIA actually has a big presence in like cloud architecture because like in AWS, you can get servers for Xeon CPUs for Epic. They're actually NVIDIA variants of the same CPUs. So not only are they vibrant in the GPU market, they also have some elements of CPUs in the form of the Tegras. You remember those? Those CPUs that NVIDIA makes.
The Tegra.
So
Yeah, I
they-
remember them.
Yeah,
the ones that
so-
need like a chiller
yeah.
to work, to run or
Yeah,
something.
but I think it's funny because NVIDIA has such an edge in the PC market in terms of gaming, and the driver support they always provide. I mean, day one drivers. What are they called? Game ready. But when you
Game-ready
think about
drivers.
it, shouldn't AMD be the ones championing this shit? I mean, AMD literally supplies PS5s. Like without AMD, there's no PS5 or what is the other one
Xbox.
called?
Even
Is it?
Xbox
Oh my
Xbox
God.
uses
Yeah.
AMD architecture.
Add bad naming to the things of Microsoft aren't good at. Oh my God, that's such a confusing concept. Yeah, you'd
Xbox-
think AMD
Xbox
would be
Series
the
X.
ones. Yeah,
There's so many X's and
You-
S's.
man, I don't know. I don't know, man. It sounds like over there they are stuck in the 90s and X is still a cool word. Sorry. So I think
Wow.
I can't imagine why AMD isn't good at making GPUs. I mean, they provide the PS5 GPU, the whole thing, they make it, and also the Xbox One. You'd think they'd be like out here owning the PC market because they know what it takes to make a good gaming piece of hardware. But then again, NVIDIA just crashes them. And the funny thing at the moment, at the actual moment, I don't think NVIDIA is making the bulk of their money from GPUs. Maybe you can check this. I think it's more to do with automation, AI, and the server space. That is actually where NVIDIA is so dominant. So
But
it
do you
begs
feel
the
like-
question why.
Okay, do you feel like maybe NVIDIA makes better GPUs because that is what they began with? And because AMD began GPUs because they bought XFX.
Yeah, you're right. I think a big part of it is culture too. And
So
also,
maybe they might take it seriously now that Intel has decided to join the party. Do you think that now AMD will be like, hey, Lisa Su will be like, okay, this is something that clearly can.
Okay, that's a good question. But here's the most realistic answer I have to that, in terms of why maybe we see like a big variation in terms of product quality, even product support across those GPU vendors. I think a big part of it, and everyone can actually pull this off, but a big part of it is NVIDIA is always willing to take risks. You can say anything about NVIDIA. We can trash them all day about the what is it called, the biggest GPU, the 4090, and of course the pricing. But do you know that NVIDIA invests every time they want to come up with a new generation? They put more than 5 billion USD into it, just to the R&D, bro. Someone just signs a check to allow that money to flow, and with R&D there's no guarantee. But NVIDIA does it. They do it so often. They are used to it. NVIDIA is always they are always pushing it. That is why they are so successful. I think AMD can too. I mean, AMD has money. If we really think about this, Intel too has the money, but also the willingness to push, to allow, of course, the people who make the things to do their thing and maybe develop the next RTX is what sets these people apart. And that is why NVIDIA enjoys so much. I mean, it's like, do you know that? Do you remember in primary school there was a classroom in which like everyone was smart? I remember like class 8 South, everyone there was smart. You just go there, they are all fucking nerds. NVIDIA is that classroom, and they are not told. You get what I mean? Like, go. If you don't believe me, go to the NVIDIA website, the NVIDIA YouTube. They have a YouTube for AI. They are always posting videos of the developments they are doing in AI. Again, go to their blogs. They are doing stuff. They are always pushing it. You don't see AMD in this. You don't see Intel in that space. So, I mean, I really believe working at NVIDIA must be a cool job. It really must be a cool job because they're always making new things. You saw the remix, the RTX remix, the one that, dude, even that's not impressive. I think that's very impressive. Like, take an old game, pair RTX on it. That has to be dope. That has to be very, very cool.
Okay, the remix, the system where you can add, like you can re-update, you can update the game assets.
To be, more current and stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean,
that can be cool because I can mod. If it's easy to use, I can mod Vice City like crazy, or just mod an old game with new assets.
Bro. Exactly, and that's what NVIDIA is always doing. But they're always, they're always pushing it. Go on.
Like I think, right? I think that now maybe as an incentive to sell more CPUs and GPUs, I feel like AMD can, especially with the system integration, the whatever, what is it called, that smart memory access, whatever thing, between a CPU and a GPU. Do you feel like that can?
What is it really called?
Is it smart access memory?
I think you're saying it right.
That one is for Ryzen CPU and GPU and AMD GPU. Then there's resizable bar.
Oh, resizable bar is
for Intel.
Is the open source one. Oh, sorry, the Windows one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But now you see, now I'm saying now.
Go on.
Wouldn't like that thing now incentivize AMD to make better GPUs because they're like, hey, we have this integration, we know how our GPUs work, we can out-edge NVIDIA because even for the Intel cards, even the most, if not all of the big creators disclaimed that the cards are really reliant on resizable bar, the ARC GPUs. Yes, like if you turn it off, the performance drops so much that it's absurd, right?
I think that's one thing. I think you're right.
I mean, because
you're right.
I mean, how else?
It's one part of winning, Brian. It is actually one part of winning. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because you need an AMD card. Just look at how much performance you get. I don't know if it's like a Digital Foundry video I watched where I think Forza. They say that Forza is the one that has implemented that AMD thing very well. Where like the minute you turn it on, you see like 20 FPS plus, like an addition of 20 FPS. So, and I remember one of the guys said like this really shows the potential in this thing, where if most devs can adopt it in their games, some of the games can really benefit like crazy. So,
Yeah.
and I don't know if that will get NVIDIA off guard, but like maybe not off guard, but I don't know if that is enough to out edge them. Like the way Apple have integrated their systems. Like the thing is inside the thing. Of course, maybe we don't want that route because that is not an upgradability. That is not like a path where you can upgrade your parts. But I feel like if Intel knows how their GPUs work, they can really design their architecture to, sell their GPUs. Like, hey, buy this new Intel CPU. It does this and this. The minute you plug in an Intel Arc, magic happens, right? I feel like that will be such a good selling point, and they can really out edge NVIDIA because, of course, NVIDIA is way ahead. I feel like that's a strategy they can use to, like, poke at NVIDIA and be like, you think you're ahead? Well, we have something up our sleeves. So I don't know. What do you think, Zach, about those system integrations and whatever?
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. There's one thing I don't like with the NVIDIA. As much as they do put in research and all that R&D into building the next generation, the one thing that they always say, like, this is our selling point, really puts me off. So, like, of late, it has been ray tracing. That's how RTX came about. Not many gamers have systems that will have ray tracing on and settings like high. So like it's a feature that you rarely use. I have a 3070 and there are some games I can't play ray traced.
I mean, because
Because
the hit to performance is just not worth it.
it's not worth it. Then you start looking at rasterization performance, and you're finding that you're having the same FPS using like an AMD GPU. So for example,
Yeah,
and right now,
and I mean to even back up what you're saying is, I don't feel like we've gotten to a point where ray tracing makes such a huge difference that you're like, oh, I must have this thing on. Like,
yeah.
and it's really reliant, I would
Actually,
say
some
it's
ray
over
tracing.
reliant on DLSS. Because I've read, ray tracing is something powerful. If you've seen movies, and if you've watched CG movies and you see how realistic they look, but that's because it's so computationally heavy. Like I heard that announcement. I remember hearing that announcement at first, and I was like, "What? Hey, did they manage to pull this off?" Because I know how like I needed to like leave a render kwanza for like a minute or something, and then come back. Hey, but now, what? I don't know. I feel like it's just like a gimmick. Me, to be honest, I'm fine with rasterization at the moment because I don't feel like your retracing is that important. I feel for me like the encoding side of things is what is way important for me. Like, can I stream this thing and can I game at the same time without seeing a hit to my performance?
they're selling is DLSS 3.0. And we've seen like double the performance in Cyberpunk in ray tracing because of DLSS 3.0. And I wouldn't say that this is like not many people are ray tracing their games. So once you put that as like this is what we have to offer, it already shows me that this is a weak platform for me to think about upgrading to. Only reason I will upgrade is because I want rasterization performance, let's say in 4K. Like I want to get that 4K 60 FPS. And I need a card that can do that. Right now, it's looking like a 3090 would be the best place to be. But of course, the pricing is still not as good to allow me to buy it. If it went down like a tier below where the 3080 was, and we are told this is the price of the 3090, I would consider doing that. Then forgoing the 40 series entirely.
Okay. Yeah, but NVIDIA. Me, I just want more space. I just want more competition in the space because I feel like, we as consumers to Tomia, and of course these cards are getting ridiculously big and they're outputting so much heat, and so then they're consuming so much power, dude. Like, it's crazy, man. So me, I just welcome Intel.
Yeah.
Please let them not I want to end the show. I don't know what's up. But yeah, man, if you, I think, Slati, did you have a concluding point you wanted to say?
Yeah, not really.
And you, Zach,
I don't
do you
think
have
I'm also
anything?
buying an NVIDIA card soon. Oh, no. Dude, if a
want to buy?
3080 is cheaper than a 6800 XT, I'll buy it.
Okay, and you,
That's the way
Zach.
to go. Like for me, I'm looking for a 3090. Like if I get that, I'm good for the next 2 generations, if need be.
All right.
The problem is, games are also evolving. So you never know. Yeah. Na kama unataka 3070 kuja tuongee.
Okay. All right. We've come to the end of the show. Remember, the show goes live on Saturdays, 5 to 6 p.m. East African time. And be sure to also listen to us on the podcast platforms. As you can see, they've all been indicated down there. As you can see, Google Podcast, Deezer, Apple Music, iHeartRadio. If you are watching the video, all of those, basically most, if not all, podcast platforms. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to like, share this link with other people, and I should see you in the next one. Peace out.
Yes.